Hello, and welcome back to Travel Destinations Cinematic, the channel where we count down the world's most beautiful destinations in stunning cinematic style. Today we have another top 10 for you. It's going to be another interesting show. Let's go. Welcome back, everybody. Today's country, England, a country of extraordinary contradictions, of ancient stone circles and ultra-modern cities, of village greens and industrial heritage, of rolling green hills and dramatic coastal cliffs. A country where you can stand in a Roman bathhouse, walk streets that Shakespeare walked, and watch the sun set over a prehistoric monument that was already ancient when the pyramids were built. England is often underestimated as a travel destination, particularly by those who live there. This is our personal top 10 of the most beautiful and fascinating destinations in England. Sit back, get some fish and chips, and enjoy the show. Starting our journey at number 10, Stonehenge and Somerset. Stonehenge is one of the most recognizable prehistoric monuments on Earth. These enormous standing stones, arranged in a precise circular pattern on the open Salisbury Plain, were erected between 3000 and 1500 BC, a period spanning 1,500 years. And nobody knows with complete certainty how they were moved here or exactly why. The largest stones weigh up to 25 tons and were transported from Wales, over 200 miles away. Somerset, just to the west, adds its own layer of mystery. The ancient Isle of Glastonbury, with its associations with Arthurian legend, and the extraordinary levels landscape that was once an inland sea. Arriving at the city that changed music forever at number 9, Liverpool. Liverpool is a city of genuine character and pride, and a place that has contributed more to global popular culture than almost any other of its size. The Beatles were born here, and the city wears that legacy with a mixture of pride and affection that never quite tips into self-parody. But Liverpool is far more than its musical history. The Walker Art Gallery, the Tate Liverpool, and the Museum of Liverpool are all outstanding. And the warmth and humor of the people, the famous Scouse character, make Liverpool one of the most welcoming cities in England. Into England's first national park at number 8, the Peak District. The Peak District was England's first national park, designated in 1951, and it remains one of the most visited stretches of countryside in the world, sitting as it does in the heart of England between the great northern cities of Manchester and Sheffield. The landscape divides neatly into two distinct characters, the white limestone dales of the south and the darker, wilder gritstone moorland of the north. Chatsworth House, one of England's greatest country houses, set in a park landscaped by Capability Brown, sits in the heart of the peaks and is a destination in its own right. Arriving at the greatest university cities on Earth at number 7, Oxford and Cambridge. Oxford and Cambridge are so often mentioned together that it is easy to forget they are two distinct cities, each with its own character, its own architecture, and its own fierce sense of identity. Oxford came first. Its university dates from the 12th century, and its medieval streets, its dreaming spires, and its extraordinary colleges give it an atmosphere of accumulated learning that is unlike anywhere else in England. Cambridge is slightly younger, slightly more relaxed, and set on the River Cam in flat fenland country. Together, they represent something genuinely remarkable. 1,000 years of concentrated human thought, still actively at work. Into the wild north at number 6, the Yorkshire Dales and Whitby. The Yorkshire Dales are the kind of English landscape that people who have never been to England imagine when they think of the country. Rolling green hills divided by dry stone walls, stone-built villages with pubs and churches, narrow country lanes and rushing moorland streams. It is a landscape of quiet, accumulative beauty that grows on you slowly. Whitby, on the Yorkshire coast, adds a different and slightly darker note, a dramatic fishing town built around a harbor below a clifftop ruined abbey that served as one of the inspirations for Bram Stoker's Dracula. The 199 steps up to the Abbey and the atmosphere of the Old Town below make Whitby one of the most distinctive places on the Yorkshire coast. Stepping back through 2,000 years of history at number 5, York. York is perhaps the most historically layered city in England, a place where Roman, Viking, Norman, and medieval history sit on top of each other in the most tangible way. The Roman walls that encircle the city center are still largely intact after 1,800 years. The Viking Street of Coppergate has been excavated and turned into the remarkable Jorvik Viking Center. And York Minster, the largest Gothic cathedral in Northern Europe, dominates the city skyline with a presence that has been doing so since the 13th century. York is small enough to walk across in 20 minutes and deep enough to explore for days. Arriving in England's most beloved rural landscape at number 4, the Cotswolds. The Cotswolds are England at its most quintessentially, almost self-consciously beautiful. A landscape of honey-colored limestone villages, ancient market towns, and rolling green hills that has been drawing visitors for centuries and shows no sign of losing its appeal. The stone here, a warm golden oolitic limestone, gives every building, from the grandest manor house to the humblest garden wall, the same soft, warm color that seems to glow in the afternoon light. The Cotswolds is not a wild or dramatic landscape, but there is a particular kind of beauty in its gentleness that is genuinely English and genuinely moving. Arriving at England's most elegant city at number 3, Bath. Bath is the most architecturally unified city in England. The entire city center, built largely in the 18th century from the same warm, golden bath stone, forms a coherent and harmonious whole that earned it UNESCO World Heritage status in 1987. The Royal Crescent, a sweeping arc of 30 terraced houses overlooking a broad lawn, is one of the great set pieces of Georgian architecture. Bath is a city that was designed to be beautiful, and it still is. Beneath it all, the Roman baths, built around the only natural hot spring in England, remind you that people have been coming to this place for warmth and healing for 2,000 years. Arriving at England's most dramatic and beloved peninsula at number 2, Cornwall. Cornwall occupies the far southwestern tip of England, a long, narrow peninsula of granite and moorland that juts out into the Atlantic and catches the full force of the ocean on both coasts. The north coast is dramatic. High cliffs, powerful surf, and the ruins of old tin mines perched on the cliff tops in a landscape that feels genuinely wild. The south coast is gentler. Sheltered coves, fishing villages like Mousehole and Mevagissey, and the extraordinary Lost Gardens of Helligan. St. Ives, on the north coast, has been attracting artists since the late 19th century. Its quality of light is something painters talk about in almost mystical terms. A must-visit destination in England. And our number 1 destination in England? London. London is one of the great cities of the world. Few cities on earth can match its combination of history, culture, diversity, and sheer energy. The Tower of London, Westminster Abbey, Buckingham Palace, St. Paul's Cathedral. The landmarks are so familiar they have become almost abstract, until you stand in front of them and feel the weight of what they represent. The museums, the British Museum, the National Gallery, the Victoria and Albert, are among the finest on earth, and almost all of them are free. The food scene has been transformed over the past 2 decades and is now genuinely world-class. The parks, Hyde Park, Regent's Park, Greenwich Park, offer remarkable calm in the heart of one of the busiest cities on earth. And the Thames, flowing through it all, ties the city together in the way that great rivers always do. London at night is one of the great urban views in the world. Our number 1. And that is our personal top 10 of the most beautiful and fascinating destinations in England. A country that is so familiar to so many people, and yet still full of surprises for those who look carefully. Have you been to England? Was there a destination we missed that deserves a place on this list? We would love to hear from you in the comments. A thumbs up really helps the channel grow. And subscribe so you never miss a new video from Travel Destinations Cinematic. Until next time, cheerio! Safe travels, everyone!